is Fox News. Okay. Um, uh, if is your sampling method is biased if you systematically favor a certain outcome by your questions, by the people that you choose, by the way you ask the questions. You favor a certain outcome. You get people to say they are not opposed to abortion by the way you answer the question. Systematically, if somehow the way you've asked the question, the way you've gathered the people that are going to be in your experiment or be in your survey, if your systems that you've set up favor a certain outcome, that's the definition of bias that we go with. And I know you have lots of different definitions of bias, but that is the one where we use. A voluntary response sampling. You know what a voluntary response would be? Texting. Whoops. Texting. Texting. Any other voluntary response sampling you can think of? Twitter. Twitter?
Tweeting. Say tweeting.
Oh. Tweeting. Okay. Okay. What's that? Call-ins. Call-in polls. Facebook. There are so many ways to sample badly in our world these days. Okay. We also have. Let's move that out of the way. We also have something called convenience sampling. And how could you make your sampling very convenient and probably biased? Ask your friends. Why didn't that make a text box? Okay, ask your friends. Go to a pizza place. So that's like standing over on one part of the quad and just asking the people that walk by. Okay. How about those people at the mall? That's convenient. They just ask the people that are walking by, and they only ask the people that they think might stop and talk to them. And they're talking to a lot of old people who are mall walkers, more than likely.
Are you a mall walker?
No, I'm not a mall walker. No. In Houston. Okay. And then just a few more words because we're just about out of time. You probably read in the preliminary part of the textbook what variables were. So the individuals are what we're going to be describing with our statistics. So we want to know the average height of people in the United States. So the people in the United States would be our individuals. The variable is the characteristic we're going to measure. So the characteristic that we're going to measure would be their height. We use the words explanatory and response instead of independent variables and dependent variables, or X and Y. The explanatory variables are input kind of variables. They're often the questions, the treatments that you get in an experiment. The response variable is, how people answer your questions or respond to the treatment or the change that comes when you've given them the treatment. So get used to these will be the words that we use instead. And then there are other variables that are confounding variables that weren't part of your experiment or part of your study, but they're kind of muddying up the output of your study. They're muddying up the response of your study. So a confounding variable might be if you're asking. Oh, come up with a quick example in the last 2 minutes of class. You're asking people what their income level is, and they're giving you your income level, but you're in Hillsboro, and so a confounding variable would be that you're in a location where everybody's income is a little higher than the rest of the state of California. So you're not sure whether your response is a true random response or whether or not it is because of some other activity going on around you. You're packing up like it's time for a bell ring? That's about 3 minutes, I believe. You have to